Welcome, everyone. I am John Ryan of SportsMemo.com, and it's March 18th, 2022, and this is the NBA Triple Double Show, powered by the Predictive Playbook and presented to you by SportsMemo TV. As you can see, I am running solo today. We had some technical difficulties in getting the the internet connections, and this happens every once in a while. In fact, it's the first time it's ever happened in any of the shows that we have produced, but the show must go on. And as you can see on the charts, I'm listed first in all sports the last 7 days, going 13-7, went 3-0 in college basketball yesterday. I have a 5%er in which I am 11-4-1 in 2022 in all sports. That goes Saturday in the round of 32, and highly recommend that. And I got another 3-pack going, basically starting in about 8 minutes. So there's still that. And my co-host, Ronald Cabang, he's number 3, all sports the last 7 days, going 15-7. KB is number 2 last 30 days, all sports, at 36-20. In the NBA, Ronald and last 30 days. So enough of that, and let's get right to the first game here. This is the Dallas Mavericks are visiting the Philadelphia 76ers, and in this matchup, which is a good one, obviously, Philly is opened as a 3-point favorite. They are now down to minus 2.5 points. Dallas has been playing well of late. They're 43-26 on the season straight up. 38-30-1 push against the number, 8-2 over the last 10. And also 6-3-1 against the spread over those last 10 games. Not to be nearly as good, 7-3 the last 10, but 4-5-1 against the number. At home, they are only 13-21 against the number. And overall, they're 42-26 and 19-15 at home. So, in that breakdown, let's look at some of the analytics here in this matchup. And just give me a second here because I am running solo. We have, I think that's it right there. Yeah, we have the Sixers and the Dallas analytics. Here is my database cheat sheet that I produce every morning. There are some serious trends if you like Dallas that do support them. They're 7-0 this season when playing against a team with a win percentage between 60 and 70% since game number 41. So that streak is intact. They are also 51-34 in road games when facing teams that are attempting 24 or fewer free throws per game over the last 3 seasons. And they're also 13-3 in road games when facing strong defensive teams like the Sixers are. They're allowing less than 108 points per game in games played in the second half of each of the last 3 seasons. Philly's a money-burning 10-22 when facing teams that are only attempting 21 free throws per game this season. So that draws a little concern backing the Sixers, and maybe that's why the line is dropping a little bit here. I think the under is the play in this matchup, and I'll share some of the analytics with you here. The under, 46-25 Dallas is when they're facing good shooting teams like the Sixers that are making 46% or more of their 46% or more of their shots in games played over the last 2 seasons. And Philly is also 11-3 under in home games facing teams that are forcing only 13 or fewer turnovers per game. So that basically tears down that game. I'll give you one little system here too that's pretty darn good. 64% winners over the last 5 seasons. And this is a March system. March Madness also applies to the NBA because we're coming down the stretch to end the regular season, and all these games basically become tournament-like teams or games. And the results have, significant consequences for the teams that are trying to get a higher seed and also for those that are trying to get in to the NBA playoffs. You're going to play under in any game that has a total of 210 or more points and has a win percentage of 60 to 75% in the season, which the Sixers do, and playing a team with a winning record as Dallas does in the month of March. 64%. If you like action, this is your type of system. 120, 66, and 2 pushes over the last 5 seasons. Again, 64%. I like the under in the Sixers-Dallas game. So now let's move over to the next game here, which is the Chicago Bulls taking on the Phoenix Suns. This is a late night game for Eastern Standard Time people. Taking place at 10 o'clock tonight. And in this matchup, we have just getting to it right here, the Bulls are only receiving 27% of the interest in the betting market right now. Not surprising given Phoenix's NBA best record of 55-14 straight up. They're 29-8 at home, which is insanely good. Against the spread, they're 38-32, 17-20 against the number. However, in home games, 7-3 over the last 10, 5-5. The market seems to be pricing them correctly in these last 10 games. Bulls have fallen on tough times, 3-7 the last 10, and also 2-8 against the number. And when you think of it that way, the Bulls playing poorly and only going 3-7, this line looks awful short. But I have to lean towards the Suns. There's no other way to do it. I don't like the fact that 73% of the bets are on the Suns right now, and I'll look at that as game time approaches this evening. But if that number comes back down near 70 or 69 or 68, that will not deter me. If it goes up towards 80, then it's a red flag, and I will be off the game. Looking at the trends in this game, the TNA for this matchup, let's find it first. Here it is. We have Phoenix is pretty darn good the last 2 seasons here in this role when they're playing against a team with a winning record, going 50-32 against the number. They're 27-17 against the number when facing good ball handling teams that are averaging 23 or more assists per game this season. And they are also 80-58 against the number when facing teams that are attempting 24 or fewer free throws per game in games played the last 2 seasons. And I could rattle off more here, but Phoenix is supported by another March system that has plenty of action, 252 plays here over the last 25 years. It's pretty darn good action. You're going to play on home favorites of 3.5 to 9.5 points that are only attempting 21 or fewer free throws per game in the month of March. And again, it's the same story. March is an important month for not only college basketball, but the NBA as well. If you like Chicago in this matchup, you'll know that playing against favorites like Phoenix, any type of favorite, after they have gone over the total by 30 or more points in total over the last 3 games, facing an opponent after they went under, which the Bulls did, by 30 or more points. So it's a 30-30 system is what I call this. And at 30 is over 5 games, and this system has hit 119 and 74 over the last 5 seasons for 62%. The one I mentioned earlier was with 24 or more points, or in 24 and 24 in the same type of wording. That just has more action for 250 plays over the last 5 seasons. That's 61% on a 156 and 98 and 4 push record. So, don't really have a play for you on this matchup. This was what I wanted to discuss with KB, but unfortunately the technology didn't allow that to happen. I hope you're enjoying the show nonetheless. Now, the last game here is the Clippers and the Utah Jazz. I know KB had some great player props, and maybe time permitting, he can put those in the comments section in the YouTube channel. I'll see about that after the show because I know you guys like those quite a bit. The Clippers are getting 38% of the interest right now. They're +6 dogs on the road at the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are one of those sneaky teams they're not really sneaky. They're just a really good team in the West that seems to fly under the radar of the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns. But they are a team that's fully capable of winning the conference come playoff time for sure. 25-11 home record. They're 15-19-2 against the spread in those home games. Last 10, they're 6-4 straight up, but they've only covered 3 of those games. Clippers are 5-5 the last 10, 5-5 against the spread. 36-36 record. They're also 36-36 overall against the spread. You can't get the market any better than that if you're a sports book and lines maker. That's pretty good stuff for those guys. Because as you know, they get 10% no matter who wins the game. And all they're trying to do has put out a number where they're going to get equal action on both sides. And really, it's a prediction of what the betting community thinks. Vegas is never making a prediction on the outcome of the game. They're making a prediction on our behavior and who's going to take what and where can we get 50-50 action in both directions. So in this matchup here, the line has come down. It's obviously because of the injury reports. And it opened at 10, now down to 5.5. So you can pretty much determine what that is. And I'm going to pull it up right here just to see what my latest report is on the situation. Let's see. The center for the Jazz, Udoka, is out officially with an ankle. He missed the previous 4 games with a right ankle injury. He will not be able to play Friday with against the Clippers. Bogdanovich is also out for tonight. Trent Forrest is listed as questionable with a wrist sprain, and that has not been determined. Daniel House Jr. is out Friday. He will not suit up Friday against the Clippers. Left knee bone contusion. And Donovan Mitchell is out. And there's your reason for the decline. A right calf contusion will not dress for Friday's matchup with the Clippers. This is another tough game, and I do think that over is probably a good look here. Let's see what my database has for a possible over bet. Unfortunately, not too much, but it actually does have interesting that it is taking the Utah Jazz. So here's a pretty good one. 68% over the last 5 seasons on a 148-2 push record over the last 5 seasons. 68% again. You're going to play on favorites of 3.5 to 9.5 points that are going up against an opponent like the Clippers, who are coming off a home loss and have a win percentage between 45 and 55% on the season. As I said earlier, they're a perfect 500 record at 36-36. Again, that's gone 68%. That supports the Utah Jazz tonight. And I do like the idea of taking them at 5.5 points. So that's all 3 games here. And I hope you got some benefit out of this for the Friday edition of the Triple-Double. And I'm going to get to watching some college basketball. I hear there's some good games on this afternoon. But I do have that 3-pack going today. There may be a total coming out late tonight, and a game late tonight. It'll be coming out in a few hours. But I do have the 5% max bet. Again, 11-4 with 1 push in 2022 in all sports, and rolling pretty well, especially in the NBA right now. And they made a code today, and you'll have to find out why they made this code, but it's JR60. That means you can get anything that I'm offering right now. Major League Baseball, if you got the season package, it's originally it's $1,099 for the season. It's already discounted. If you had another 60% because of today, you can get it for about $280, if my math is right. And that's the whole season. It comes out to like $1 a day, which is insane. But I think it's a great promotion, and I'm glad they're doing it. So again, JR60, you can take off 60% off of any subscription, any 1-day package, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. I would highly recommend at least starting out with the all-access 30-day package. That'll get you more towards the NBA playoffs and carry you through the March Madness. And that's a pretty darn good deal there. So that'll conclude our show for today, the Triple-Double. I'll look forward to having Ronald Cabang and KB back on the show starting Monday. And that will be the next edition of the Triple-Double. So until then, always remember, especially during March Madness, bet with your head, not over it. And may all the wins continue to be yours.